A seasoned veteran, after enduring a brutal war, decides to return to his homeland, trekking from Laos across vast distances to reach Moscow. Passing through a small town, he unwittingly breaks an unspoken local rule, failing to respond when questioned. Two low-ranking officers in uniform stop him, demanding his papers. While one searches his bag, he spots something hidden in the man's coat. The man swiftly lifts his jacket, revealing a dagger. Both officers panic. "What's this? My knife. I have a permit," the man calmly replies. Despite his claim, the officers demand he surrender the weapon. Upon inspection, they recognize it as a Nepalese army kukri. Without further explanation, they handcuff him. One officer, seeing no witnesses, swings a baton at him, but the man, with sharp reflexes, dodges effortlessly. The other, a hefty officer, charges, but the man sidesteps, shoving the second officer to the ground. Realizing they're outmatched, the officers draw their guns, forcing him into a vehicle. He complies without resistance, but as he steps in, the hefty officer lands a heavy baton strike to his back. The man doesn't flinch, only glaring with a deadly stare. The officers are unaware they'll pay dearly for their actions. At the station, they confiscate his belongings and handcuff him again. The station feels more like a den of thieves than a police outpost, extorting locals for protection money and splitting the profits with accomplices. A captain enters the cell, demanding why the man ignores his questions. When he doesn't respond, the captain strikes him with a baton. The man lets out a low groan but stands firm, infuriating the captain further. Another blow aims for his face. "Only with permission do you look at me. Who are you?"
Samanop realizes his MP3 player was left in the chief's officia, cherished item he can't lose, as it lifts his spirits when he's down. He returns to the office and catches the chief attempting to assault the girl from earlier. Seeing her cowering helplessly in a corner, Samanop freezes, hesitant to interfere, but grabs his MP3 player, yanks its cord, and wraps it tightly around the device. As the chief approaches, Samanop slips the player between his index and middle fingers, slowly turning. The Russian maroon beret paratroopers strike, carrying at least several dozen kilos of force, sends the 200-kilo chief crashing helplessly to the floor. Samanop lands another blow to his forehead, knocking him out. Knowing what to do next, he grabs an ashtray, rips out the phone cord, takes the chief's lighter, and pulls the terrified girl from the office. He walks calmly, as if nothing happened. A passing officer enters to check the room, but Samanop hurls the ashtray from his pocket, striking the man's head as the door opens. Seeing the phone cord in Samanop's hand, the other officers in the station snap to attention. They draw guns to stop him from leaving, but he flings the cord, stunning them. The remaining officers are swiftly dispatched by Samanop. The stunned girl watches, wide-eyed. How could these corrupt cops stand against a special forces operative? Before leaving, Samanop disarms the entire station, then pulls the girl outside. Unsure of the back exit, they stumble into the officers' break room, where the same cops who harassed him earlier are gathered. He shoves the girl out, deciding to teach these scum a lesson. What follows is a masterclass in close-quarters combat. The rookie cops can't withstand a single round. Another young officer, seeing the chaos, rushes to intervene, but is locked in a 360-degree arm twist by Samanop, flipped 180 degrees, and slammed to the ground. Samanop grabs the girl's hand, heading for the stairs, where they encounter the deputy chief. Before the man can react, Samanop delivers a monkey picks peach kick, followed by a direct punch to the right temple. No one in the station can withstand 3 of his moves. He spares their lives in the battlefield. His tactics would have left no survivors. Outside, Samanop courteously lights a cigarette for a trembling officer, gifting him the chief's lighter. Tears still glint in the girl's eyes. On the road, she's visibly tense, knowing she's caused a disaster. If caught, the corrupt cops would torment her to death. She urges Samanop to flee the town and leave her behind. Meanwhile, the captain, now conscious, radios his team to hunt Samanop down, burning with humiliation and determined to reclaim his honor. The girl, refusing to drag Samanop further, pushes an approaching officer to the ground. With her unwilling to leave and police cars closing in, Samanop has no choice but to speed off on a vehicle. The police pursue relentlessly, firing wildly in their determination to take him down. Samanop swerves to dodge, seizing the moment to execute a spectacular turn into a narrow path. The police pursue relentlessly, but their abysmal marksmanship misses every shot. Samanop races down a slope, leaping midair from his motorcycle toward a bulldozer. The captain empties his clip, then draws a revolver, firing every round without a single hit. With such poor aim, it's a mystery how he became a cop. As he prepares to retreat, the bulldozer surges forward, pinning his car's hood. Samanop maneuvers the bulldozer, slamming its bucket into the vehicle. The captain orders the driver to reverse, but a truck suddenly crashes in from behind. A lone stranger has turned the entire police station upside down, leaving the chief trembling as he surveys the scene, wondering what kind of man he's provoked. A subordinate reports that this is a Maroon Beret Special Forces operative, involved in classified missions, twice awarded the Order for Service to the Homeland, and decorated with medals for combat bravery. Meanwhile, Samanop speeds across a mountain ridge, knowing he's enraged these vermin who will never let him go. If they want to fight, he'll give them one to the end. The foolish chief, unaware his rash decision has doomed the station, will soon see how a Maroon Beret operative takes on an entire police force without firing a bullet. Cornered in a forest ruin, Samanop finds a matchbox, discarded electrical cable, rusty nails, and wooden sticks. The police, grumbling about camping in the rain to hunt a fugitive, are oblivious to Samanop crafting a secret weapon. He wraps nails to the sticks with cable, igniting matches to fuse the tips, swiftly creating trident of the sea god spikes. He positions them strategically, then discovers a small wooden cabin, scavenging a circular metal plate and a hidden passage. Ready, he pulls out his MP3 player, calmly awaiting his prey. Not long ago, Samanop, defending a beautiful girl, threw the station into chaos, even killing two pursuing officers to cover his tracks. The police set up camp near the forest, preparing to deploy K-9 units and helicopters, but the chief avoids calling special forces, fearing exposure of his corruption. Unbeknownst to them, Samanop monitors their every move, mapping their attack routes and devising a battle plan. By night, two arrogant officers, emboldened by brandy, decide to act alone, hoping to ambush Samanop under cover of darkness for a quick victory. Spotting a fire ahead in the forest, they can't believe their target is so easily found. Cunningly, they switch off their flashlights, creeping up from behind. "Where are you now?" one bold officer mutters, rushing in, only to be struck in the forehead by a wooden plank. His partner hurries to check, but Samanop kicks his weapon away. The second officer resists, only to be floored by a flaming staff. Samanop spares their lives, gathering firewood and forcing them to handcuff each other by the fire. Dazed, they can't comprehend what just happened. Samanop tells them to relay a message to their major. "Tell your major to stop hunting me." Why bother? The next morning, the chief discovers the sentries have vanished. With no time to dwell, he orders everyone to move. Spotting the wooden cabin, they charge in, only to find their own battered men inside. A bald officer, trying to salvage some credit, claims he nearly caught Samanop but fell into a trap. Whispering to the chief, he urges, "Colonel, stop chasing him, it's pointless." Furious, the chief slaps him hard. To find Samanop quickly, he orders a wide, horizontal search line. Samanop weaves nimbly through the forest while the police struggle with each step. Suddenly, two officers trigger animal traps. Samanop grabs a prepared trident spike, hurling it precisely at a target before relocating. Hearing the commotion, the panicked police fire wildly, nearly hitting their own. 3 men are already down. "He's toying with us like ants," they mutter, realizing Samanop's terrifying prowess. His shadow seems to loom everywhere in the forest. As they speak, another trident spike flies from nowhere, striking an officer. "Chase him, Rubov. You stay here," the chief barks. Stand there and wait for Samanop's special orders move. Spotting their target, the chief leads the pursuit. A jungle guerrilla expert, Samanop treats the forest like his backyard. Vanishing from sight, circling back, he swiftly takes out the officers guarding the wounded, his movements precise. Hearing the noise, their comrades rush over, only to find Samanop disassembling a rifle, holding a knife to her throat, ordering them to take the injured to the vehicles and not return. Clearly, Samanop spares their lives. Meanwhile, the chief leads his team to a log bridge. The deputy chief berates him for not calling special forces, disregarding everyone's safety. Enraged, the chief orders the deputy to scout ahead. The bridge, made of 2 logs, sways precariously and misstep could plunge them into the river. Samanop, waiting there, dodges a barrage of bullets as the police play hide-and-seek in the forest. The sluggish deputy is taken out first. This time, the chief plays smarter. If I can't find you, I'll wait here. Samanop darts into the woods, but the chief suddenly appears before him. Underestimating this foe was a mistake. Samanop's trident spike is ready, but as he throws, the chief's gun fires, grazing him, gritting through the pain. The chief flees, sweating bullets, narrowly escaping death. Spotting a spike overhead, he cautiously navigates the logs, unaware Samanop is right behind him. It's a clash of gun versus knife. Cop versus operative. Samanop blocks the gun with his right hand, yanks the magazine with his left, and ejects the chambered round. As the bullet flies out, Samanop snatches it, then lands a thunderous slap on the chief. In Russia, never cross a maroon beret paratrooper. Blood streams from the chief's ear. Still don't get it. Had enough. Take your wounded and leave. Pretend I never existed. Understand, I'm not joking otherwise. More will die. The arrogant chief, even with a kukri at his throat, refuses to yield. Unfazed by the chief's defiance, Samanop knocks him out with a punch and leaves alone. The chief, panting, returns to the mountain's base, where someone awaits. Already furious, he's further irritated by a man in dark sunglasses acting cool. Ignoring him, he storms off, unaware this is Colonel Demon from Defense Intelligence, Samanop's former instructor, who knows him better than anyone. Demon warns that Samanop only loses control in extreme circumstances and urges the chief to let him goits their chance to survive. If Samanop wanted them dead, no one would leave the forest alive. The chief dismisses Demon, then learns a helicopter will arrive in 15 minutes, boosting his confidence. He orders the area surrounded to prevent Samanop's escape and vows to hunt him personally. Hearing the helicopter, Samanop takes cover. With the enemy dominating the air, he can only dodge relentless gunfire. Facing a cliff, he leaps without hesitation, diving into the water below. Don't worry, he's hit now. One survives that, the chief says, still uneasy, ordering the helicopter to scour the water until nearly out of fuel before retreating. Samanop, averse to killing, is stunned by their ruthless assault, realizing they've provoked a beast. After drifting for an unknown time, an old man finds him on the shore, saving his life and bringing him home. The man's granddaughter, the girl Samanop rescued from the station, sees him near death and feels immense guilt for his injuries. The old man extracts the bullet, and the girl musters the courage to stitch his wounds. That night, Samanop wakes, determined to leave to spare the old man and girl further trouble. This time, the girl insists on joining him, knowing capture by the chief means certain death. With Samanop's health frail, they rest in a nearby straw hut for the night. The next morning, uninvited guests armed, menacing fugitive Operative at the old man's house. Hostile to the intruders, the old man is shot from behind. These are escaped criminals hunted by the police. Hearing the gunshot, Samanop knows a fight is inevitable. Before one bandit can react, he's gunned down by a maroon beret's hand is no injustice. But how do these thugs give a warrior king like Samanop a chance to strike? 5 ruthless escapees stormed through the town, invading the old man's home and coldly killing him. The gunshot alerted Samanop. Recovering in the stable, he hands his dagger to the girl and goes to investigate. Posing as a weakling, he blends into the group. The girl, hiding in the attic, is spotted by a blonde bandit who winks at her, locks the door, and deceives his leader. He signals Samanop, revealing they're wanted criminals planning a water escape, but their boat's engine is broken. Samanop offers to fix the boat's engine. The leader, noting his skilled hands, agrees, assigning the blonde and another thug to watch him. Needing tools to dismantle the engine, Samanop sees a chance to escape to the stable and save the girl, but the blonde blocks him, claiming he can fetch the tools. Samanop reluctantly lets him go. The blonde calls the girl down from the attic, but after a brief talk, his true nature surfaces. Her fierce resistance frustrates him, and in anger, he strings her up. In panic, she kicks his groin and flees to another room, recalling the dagger Samanop gave her. As the blonde enters with a trident spike, she stabs his leg and unleashes a flurry of 7-star slash moves. A gentle, frail girl is forced step by step into killing. Meanwhile, Samanop dispatches a guard and rushes to the stable, finding the girl bloodied. Another bandit enters, and as Samanop turns, both grab the gun's barrel, exchanging kicks. Though the thug is bigger, his combat skills are amateurish. He tries to wrestle Samanop down, but Samanop kicks him away. As the thug grabs his gun, Samanop snatches a nearby sickle, plunging it into his heart. Facing these ruthless fiends, Samanop shows no mercy, entering full slaughter mode. He doesn't hesitate with a hostage-holding thug either. Police and special forces arrive, seeing the 5 dead bandits, sparing them the effort of capture. Spotting the kukri, the chief knows Samanop is alive. Enraged, he grabs the girl, demanding Samanop's whereabouts, unaware Samanop is nearby, watching. The chief's actions against the girl will cost him dearly later. To lure Samanop out, the chief forces the girl into a car. Samanop appears, but as the chief aims, the girl shoves him and Samanop vanishes. Gunshots draw the special forces commander, who berates the chief, freeing the girl from torment. Though they failed to capture the 5 escapees alive, they've met a far deadlier foe. Orders come to take this terrorist alive. Samanop flees to an abandoned building, pursued by the commander and his team. Exhausted, Samanop raises his hands against a wall in surrender, but the aggressive team prepares a stun gun. Hearing the electric buzz, he knows he must act. The toughest man of his nation, a warrior untouchable by an entire regiment, he kneels in mock surrender. No operative can withstand 3 of his moves. The commander approaches. Revolver aimed at close range, Samanop can't outrun a bullet. Another punch, and the commander tries a move to subdue Samanop, only to be countered and fall flat. He draws his revolver, unaware Samanop has already taken his grenade. Not wanting to harm innocents, Samanop saves the drowning commander and escapes through a water pipe, but the chief, knowing every inch of his territory, is relentless. The pipe has one exit, and he surrounds it with his men. Samanop emerges, but their terrible aim misses every shot. He sprints into a small wooden cabin, sparking a fierce firefight. Strangely, the guns emit black smoke, yet the cabin's wood remains unscathed, could it be granite. Unable to take Samanop down, the chief grabs a rocket launcher and fires at the cabin, igniting a blaze. Watching it burn, he smirks, done. Find his body before dark. Meanwhile, a general visits the hospitalized Special Forces commander. A woman bursts in, the girl Samanop protected. Her story clarifies everything for the general. Back at the station, the chief finds Colonel Demon waiting. Demon, sensing Samanop will return, lingers near the chief. My soldier's gone, just his MP3 player left. You'll only find a corpse, he says, urging the chief to drink brandy to dull the fear when Samanop comes for his player. Elsewhere, police discover a secret tunnel. As one descends, a gun meets his face. Samanop, in a stolen uniform, calmly takes the driver's phone. When the driver steps out, Samanop knocks him out, steals the car, and speeds off. To pursuing officers are floored by his fists. A guard eating noodles and betting on crab fights is stunned as Samanop smashes through the door, heading straight for the chief. Outside, special forces have the place surrounded. Demon enters, warning Samanop a whole army-ness tanks awaits. After releasing the girl, Peace returns to the small town, following orders from Moscow. Samanov and Colonel Demon head back together. The girl watches the car carrying Samanov disappear. The film ends here. A film's value lies in its reputation, while a review's value lies in its feelings. Today's story concludes. Thank you for watching. What did you think of the movie? Please comment below.